Welcome all you beautiful people to Sunny Isles Beach. Today you have the unique pleasure and experience of watching two videos at the exact same time. What do I mean by that? Stay tuned, I'll tell you. Hi. So pick a side of your brain, either the left or the right. That's the one you're going to use for the experiment. Yes, the experiment that I'm going to tell you about later, because if I tell you about it now, it won't be an experiment. But the other side of your brain, we're going to talk a little bit about, well, living a lie. Okay, what do I mean by living a lie? Well, there are lies that we tell others about ourselves, and then there are lies that, well, we tell ourselves about ourselves. I fell victim to the latter. That's probably still a little perplexing, so let me explain. For 50-some years, I lived in suburbia, either just outside of Washington, D.C., or down in Richmond, Virginia, 100 miles away. And I followed the tried and true path. I lied to myself thinking this is what I wanted, but eventually I came to realize it wasn't, which is why I find myself now in Sunny Isles, Florida, again. You know, I just keep saying things that are confusing, so let me explain again. Okay, before I make this all about me, I need to make it all about you first. Have you ever lived part of your life where you knew it wasn't right, or maybe you thought there was something inside of you that nobody else would really find acceptable? Maybe you something inside of yourself that maybe you thought you wouldn't find acceptable. Well, that was me in a complete nutshell. Basically for me, it was living in suburbia. I don't live in suburbia. I don't do barbecues. I don't do green grasses. I needed to get away. And in 2014, I came down here to this, Sunny Isles Beach. One day I packed everything I owned into my Jeep and I came all the way down here. Didn't have a place to stay, didn't know a single person. It was probably the scariest and wildest time that I've ever had in my entire life. But before we get into that, and aren't these come-alongs just annoying as hell? Maybe I'll actually answer something. Well, I'm going to answer something right now. What is this experiment that I spoke of? Well, this channel's about creativity, right? And so I'm trying to be creative by plagiarizing. I am doing everything up until this video started exactly as Casey Neistat started his. Same title, same thumbnail, same everything, same what a time lapse that he does, the same kind of words that come up on the screen. Now granted, I ain't Casey, but I wanted to see, could I get more viewers? Could I get more attraction to this video simply by mimicking somebody who hits 2, 3, 4 million views per video? I don't think I'm gonna do it, but that's what half of your brain is working on, trying to figure out if you actually got this far. If you have, thank you. Our channel thanks you, our sponsors, which we don't have, thank you, and the world thanks you too. Okay, so I'm going to give you some completely unsolicited advice. If you got something you're hiding from the world, from yourself, you are probably like many of us, and there is something indeed. My advice to you is stop hiding it. Yeah, I don't know, are you gay? Do you love somebody not of your faith, color, height? I don't know what your secret is, but I know that it's probably eating you up. I know that you are probably asleep right now, and you dream periodically of what a life might be like if you actually allowed yourself to be yourself. I am so not going to get into all of the reasons why I am standing here in Sunny Isles. And by the way, I came up here just because it reminded me of the story. This is where I started. This was my launch point to something else, which, by the way, I'm still trying to find. So what does that encouragement actually look like for you? Well, sit down and think, but be brutally honest with yourself. What is it about you that either makes you happy or that's just intrinsically a part of you that just can't be let out with the people you're around or where you are? You know, on one hand, after you figure a lot of this out, you may be able to talk to the people in your life. You may be able to alter your life to accommodate what it is. I couldn't. I tried. It didn't work. I had to make a run for the border. Literally had to make a run for the border. And now I'm pushing towards other borders. But it takes courage. And I will tell you, it is the hardest thing I've ever done, was to pack up that Jeep and to drive down here. And whatever you decide to do is probably going to be just as hard. And not just to the people around you, not just because you're going to feel guilty, not just because you're putting yourself forward ahead of other people, but because it's scary. You're all alone all of a sudden. And more importantly, you're alone inside of yourself. You've probably never admitted this crap to anybody else, including you. And now you're doing something about it. So I'm gonna hop in my truck and I'm gonna ponder more things to say to you as we go down today's road. But while we're doing that, think about what you really mean to yourself, to everybody else, but especially yourself. What is it that, I'm sorry for that, what is it that you really feel needs to be a part of your life experience?